RPG swag in those Twitch chats.
I mean, I still have the red one, but once again, logos have not been kept up to date yet, so we need that changed ASAP once the new stuff comes in. BTG, selecting the second map, we're going to Infernal Shrines.
Infernal Shrines. Finally a little bit of variation here. Infernal Shrines, of course, being a really good one to come back on. It's also a map that I think would fit beyond the game's playstyle. You know, a little bit more patient than most of the other teams, at least in this phase. They used to be a very aggressive teams at times. For RPG, though, what are they going to do here? Don't give C the Diablo again. I think C needs a little bit of a safer hero now. He used to be a godlike Stitches, by the way. Just wanted to remind you guys of his history in KT back in the days.
That is true. We haven't seen Stitches that much, only once so far this phase.
It's a good map
but
for him, though.
Who knows? Maybe more. We can hope. It is a good map for it. Very true. Being able to the slam build on the objective's pretty nice, and of course being able to land hooks, especially in that little nook between bot and mid lane near the base, you can get some crazy value there.
I think his second best hero was, in my personal opinion, was probably a Nubrak. So oftentimes he would be able to initiate those team fights very well. And of course we can't forget about that legendary game yesterday where he was on that ETC with that 4-man golden mosh pit, enabling them to come back with a 10% core and swinging things around single-handedly. So there is some...
I mean, yeah, it's a 4-man mosh. Not bad. Not like a 5-man mosh. Not like a one in the game or anything.
Yeah. Why didn't you go for the 5-man mosh? I mean, I could do that at home in Hero League 2. I do that every day, in fact.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like Grandmasters ETC. That's just on my Smurf account though.
China's all about bronze players, anyways. The most terrible region at the moment. Get good. You can't spell NA without China. You can't spell China without NA. I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong, Tetcher. Please stop.
No, we are moving on from this as we see Hanzo and Sonya being picked up to match up with that Tyrael by BTG.
All right, Sonya's good.
I really hope that becomes the new meme. You can't spell NA without China. That better become the new meme.
All right. So, let's see what the Sonya is able to do here. I like it already. And once again, I do want to talk about the current tank meta, the current warrior meta in China. True, Tyrael is amazing. He could be played as a main tank. Don't forget about that. And I would really like to see a little bit of Arthas maybe appear here and there. Arthas is so solid when it comes to controlling those shrines. Even if there's not, let's say, a dedicated target that needs to be slowed, like Greymane, Illidan, and the likes, I still think he gets the value. And that is a hero that I wanted to see as well. Gul'dan, AoE damage, the Horrifies, the poke is real, and I like it.
Yep, it's great on the objective, killing off those shrine minions. Good disengage against a hero like Sonya, who is going to try and get stuck in there. So having that Horrify is a lovely way to keep yourself alive, and add Sank on top of that, you're going to have a good time.
Hatcher, Beyond the Game just banned out the 2 most contested supports in the game. No Mouth, no Stukov. Does that mean we're going to see something exotic here potentially?
Nah, they're going to pick Uther. It's just the situation of they don't want to die to sustain healing, and they just want to burst.
Yes, RPG, I like that. Alex Rass on Infernal Shrines is so strong.
That's true. Excellent point.
Oh my goodness, the support choke is real. We're probably going to see Rhaegar and Uther now, don't get me wrong. But just maybe in a cool world, we're going to see true NA style shining through with Lily.
I would love it. I would love to see Lily, Karazim, Ariel, all heroes, but it's going to be Rhaegar and it's going to be Uther, potentially a change to maybe like Karazim or something like that.
You know what?
Right wing maybe.
I think you may be up on something there. I think with a Gul'dan, we could potentially see an Oriel. She did get buffed. Don't forget about that. You don't need to have a Vala as your battery.
I mean, Gul'dan was the battery first.
True.
He invented it, right? The battery afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
I invented this battery.
Yes. I mean, if you're going... Oh, Lucio's still a thing. Someone has reminded me. Forgot about Lucio. Muradin and Rhaegar, sticking with the cleanse in general. But it's just, classic supports for Gul'dan on Braxis are Ariel and Morales. However, Morales is made of paper. And there's a Sonya on the enemy team.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to see that one. Ari, on the other hand, is potentially more viable. However, there is a second assassin spot open for BTG, which means if Ariel comes in comes Sonya, and everyone dies.
The problem right now for RPG in terms of picking a support is the fact that they're almost forced to pick Uther because of Sonya, right? Up to this point, they have no interrupts with the exception of Horrify. Tyrael and Leoric can't really do anything against the spinning Sonya as much as they would love to. So Uther with the stuns, Hammer of the Lightbringer build might be the way to go to.
They can't even just go out there and pick Lili just as a counter to the Sonya, because Sonya's more of a melee mage in general, and there's the fact that the last pick's still open for a potential mage. Same issue with Brightwing. You're pretty much just down to Lucio or Uther here. And there is Uther with a Falstad to go with it.
Okay, so no crazy experiments going on here this time. Although, the more you tell me about it, the more I would have actually dug Brightwing here. Like, interrupts for Sonya, Emerald Wind is strong shrine control. You could actually burst or limit down the Hanzo damage by dropping a Pixie Dust in time. So, although, but that's a very optimistic way of saying it, like, best case scenario everywhere, right?
Indeed. Also, Garrosh has managed to make it through this entire ban pick and ban phase without being picked or banned, so good for him. Just drafts a weird dude. As we wait to see what the last pick is. Another damage dealer needed, so what's the best way to deal with Uther? Damage over time, some kind of damage sustain. Gul'dan's already taken. Lunara is out of the meta for months now, so not sure. Maybe a Kael'thas or something like that.
Oh, Mene would probably appreciate that.
Yes, he would. Or otherwise, it's going to be some kind of auto-attack damage over time, so a Tychus or something like that.
I don't think you can ever go wrong with Tychus these days. He's just so solid. And of course, if you have someone like Dancing in your team who single-handedly demolished RPG, it felt like, then why not go for the Junkrat? Once again, strong displacement, solid AoE damage also to clear the shrines. I think it's going to be a pretty even draft in terms of raw power. I think Beyond the Game probably got the better end of it. I like the Muradin. I really do. 619 is a formidable Muradin player. We actually saw it in his player sheet, in his player introduction. So let's see what the Dwarf is able to do.
Let us see indeed. So looking at these two drafts, RPGs just is sort of weird. You look at it and you're like, this is not efficient just looking at it. So they've got stunless tanks, unless you pick Judgment. We have two different types of disengage in the form of Horrify and Mighty Gust, and very little way to follow up on either of them if they actually get an isolation. This is literally an out-sustain comp versus the more sustainy support in the form of Rhaegar.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, when you go for an Uther, I totally agree with you. When you go for Uther, who is the worst sustaining support in the game, most likely, you need to be the aggressive team, right? You need to force an outcome in a team fight very rapidly, very quickly. Do they have that? With Tyrael Leoric? I don't think so, unless you go for Entomb. I think Entomb needs to be a go-to here. Let's see if it's going to work out in game number 2 as we're diving into the action on Infernal Shrines, ladies and gentlemen. On the left-hand side, rocking the banner, representing it, it is RPG. The pink one looking good with Chicken on the Falstad. MJ is on Uther, Sal plays Gul'dan, CN Tyrael, and Timelane on Leoric.
And on the right-hand side, it is BTG with 619 on Muradin, LLK on Sonya, Druid on Rhaegar, Dancing on Hanzo, and Lai is playing on the Junkrat.
Yeah. All right. Can Beyond the Game take the first 2-pointer? Or were they actually able to win yesterday? No, I don't think so.
Who, sorry? RPG, or Beyond the Game? Yesterday, no. They lost 2-0, I think. I might be wrong, though.
Yeah, I don't think they were able to get a full 2-0 up to this point. But against RPG, that is a golden opportunity for them.
ETG went 1-1 versus CE yesterday.
There we go. That's already a big success, though, for them, to be honest.
Yeah. More success than before. BTG have only got 1-1s so far, whereas RPG went 0-2 and 1-1.
All right, 619. That is, of course, the power of Muradin. He's a very support-friendly tank in a way that he doesn't require healing all the time, right? Because of his second wind passive trait. That's Stormbolt, by the way, missing completely point-blank range there against Falstad. So a little bit unfortunate here. You can really see the strong rotations. Chicken, by the way, in the false set. Man, like he plays one Birdman into the next one. Really quite the bird role player here. Deep
How many more heroes? Yeah, how many more heroes have wings that he is going to be able to pick up on? Right wing, that's true, but he's not exactly a support player, so that would be quite interesting. I guess Malfurion for the same reasons. He has like
on the
arm
skin,
wings.
Kerrigan.
Malfurion almost has the literal definition of bingo wings, I've realised. They're in the exact same place. They hang from the bottom of his arms. As we see Tyrael pulling back. Oh yeah, Tyrael. Completely blanked on that one. But he's already played Tyrael in the past. So as they turn it around, Ariel as well. A lot of supports with wings. As we see 619 moving on, trying to take down Sar. Good harassment from Dancing as well, allowing him to gain those redemption stacks.
Strong. I like the target prioritization here by Sar as well, using those spell flings on Hanzo the entire time. Good target prioritization. Even the corruption is landing. And Dancing now needs to dance to safety as quickly as he can, because that Gul'dan was starting to hurt.
We see MJ started the mercenary camp, decides against it, because BTG are still here, Dancing with a fountain instead of porting back, which means that they are still having pressure in this lane, but Dancing pretty much just loses all the health he just got back.
Yeah, that is of course a big advantage when you're Gul'dan and you're playing against the Hanzo. As long as there's no natural agility, you can actually land those spells very safely on the rather slow-moving archer. So I really like what Sa is doing. This is a really good lesson here for Gul'dan players out there to always find the right targets for your abilities, because although you can spam your abilities a lot, if you only use them against the enemy, or for example in this case Murden, you're not going to get a lot of value from them.
Explosive arrow coming in from Hanzo here, so going with the mixed build, the hybrid build, the explosive arrow also the best wave clear potentially without having to gain stacks, which means you can still go for that redemption build. It's the usual talent. We don't see the ignore all distractions, which is the actual auto attack talent, but it's just weird.
All right, both teams rushing towards those fallen shaman camps. Of course, you want to activate them shortly before moving to the shrine, so you'll have this distraction going on, forcing one or two enemy team members potentially to deal with them. Sa needs to be careful. He did see the danger coming. Strong armor protection and self-heal by him. Good reflex, really solid. Can he take the healing fountain? That would be interesting to know, because if he had to teleport all the way back, yes he did. Fantastic. If he had to teleport all the way back, the strongest wave clear for RPG would have been missing for quite some time.
It's a pretty big deal that he's able to do this now that this gank happened pre-level 7, because otherwise that fountain might not have even been enough to keep him very sustaining. Now, 22-4. The lead that LLK has got his team here is such a big deal. I very much doubt that RPG can try and turn this around. They have to kill someone to have any hope at all, but it's already too late. At this point, Druid could move in at any point to steal enough. Hanzo can just ping in with an explosive arrow. So this will be the first Punisher of the game going over to BTG.
This is what we're talking about, right? Uther, if it goes for longer team fights, he can sustain a team as well as Rhaegar can with a healing totem and the chain heal. So right off the get-go, if RPG hadn't landed a kill, there was no way they could have won it. They realized that. In the meantime, Sa once again the focus target. Can he stay alive? No, he can. Are they going to get a retaliation kill? No, they can't.
C is trying to tank his way through, but he goes down as well. The explosion wouldn't even kill Druid here, so he just drops it onto the Punisher, give his team a little bit more sustain. But that's the first 2 kills of the game going over to BTG. First 4 of the game going over at 4 minutes. That is a pretty good start for BTG.
Yeah, that is such a big deal. And at this point, you're going to have to wonder, with Falset staying in the middle for the most part, with Leoric not moving to help his allies at all in this game, was that really worth it? Or are they starting to lose too much value for them to come back from? True, the side soaking was good, but also true, if you lose a fort that early on, that already takes away so much movement freedom on the map for you.
Hanzo doing his best Impaler and pressure there, assisting the Impalers with taking down the fountain before they wrap around and are just completely destroyed by Sa. But like you said, the XP that Leoric got has not put his team in any kind of lead. The lack of presence has put them behind, however.
Murden once again. Just look at Murden. He seems to me, 619 in that case, he seems to be that hero that can do whatever he pleases. There's absolutely no tank shredding available, with the exception of Leoric maybe, but let's face it, even the Drain Hope these days is just going to tickle a Murden at the very best case. So really, he's moving around, he's charging up his Storm Bolts, he's distracting, causing a lot of this confusion and commotion. And with no other warrior, you can do that. It's just so cool to see how China does well on those Muradin picks.
619, however, has been missing a lot of Storm Bolts. That is not ideal. He's been surviving really well, but a lot of abilities not landing here coming in from BTG. This could be a problem if they're not able to stop to change that shortly.
Dragon's Arrow available, so is Riptire, Wrath of the Berserker, Avatar. For a moment, I was starting to get a little nervous here with 619 hesitating on that level 10 choice. Haymaker is a good ability under the right circumstances, and that is usually quick match.
We've seen it used to great effect in all regions at one point or another. As 619 holds the line here, drained onto him by Timeless. Timeless is very flexible in terms of what heroes he can play. As C putting some pressure onto LLK, the corruption as well, gaining a couple more stacks here. As
now,
top not yet spawned.
This is the right moment for RPG to look for a fight. Level 10 is here, and boy, oh boy, do they have a couple of heavy hitters, like the Horrify, like the Sanctification. They do have double protection, even with Divine Shield on top of it. So if they find a good spot, if they find the right angle, then I think with the raw power of their heroic abilities, they should be able to win team fights.
It's gonna be interesting. They finally have Falstad with them again, so they're only just over half a level behind, which is definitely feasible as a recovery point.
Yeah.
And it does look like they actually do want to 5-man group up for the objective this time. Right after they've cleared out mid, got themselves a little bit of a boost in XP. Basically, the second the objective spawns, they'll begin heading up.
Look at Sonya, patiently waiting, not capturing the mercenary camp just yet. They're starting to be more patient here. They're waiting for the blue camp to approach the towers, then they're going to get rid of it, then they're going to power through it, and then with teams probably being occupied at the temple, at the shrine, excuse me, the red fallen shaman's camp is going to get infinitely more value potentially than the blue one.
Falstad kills Junkrat. That is such a big deal, Chicken, as they move around, looking for the opportunity to begin to turn around. Leoric has also taken position on the shrine, giving his team a lead in terms of skeletons. And Falstad hasn't even rotated up yet. He's grabbing even more XP. Now he can fly in, as he can see BTG trying to make a forceful play without their Junkrat. He knows his team has a number advantage. Level 30 is not available. This is his chance to do something amazing. Gust is pulled in here. There's the Horrify trying to focus Sonya, who gets cleansed down. Dragon Arrow completely misses. Sanctification from RPG completely forces BTG back, but their sustain is a bit too good at the moment. BTG staying alive. The pressure Sar, as Sar is turning on to 619, who is forced to retreat once again. LLK also can't get a kill. The sustain for both teams is crazy, but RPGs with the man advantage is too good. That fight lasted so long. The Junkrat respawned and has moved in. The Riptide with 4 members, and in comes BTG, shredding the members of RPG. It's a 3 versus 4 right now in favor of BTG, but they get the objective.
Wow, they get the objective, and now they're starting to retaliate onto the low HP members of Beyond the Game. The tower is helping. Hanzo is falling. Druid could be the next. Sa is still chasing.
Sa is so low. Chicken's so low. They all wipe here. The damage just too much. They have to port back, because if they move anywhere near that Punisher, it will kill them. 619 makes it behind the base. And that is going to be a Punisher for just a crazy amount of kills to both teams.
Tetra, that Riptire single-handedly deciding the outcome of that team fight here, I feel. They were willingly fighting 4 versus 5 all the time because Junkrat was probably yelling, I'm coming to save the day. And that he did. The Dragon's Arrow missing, the Sonya falling very rapidly there as well. Muradin taking so much damage, but tanking so much damage at the same time. Oh my goodness, these teams are not letting go.
These teams aren't playing around either. They are
messing around, no.
They are absolutely turning it up for this game. But like you said, delay tactics by BTG. Yeah, they lost the objective, but they got so many kills out of that and completely prevented any follow-up pressure. And as such, they keep hold of their lead despite that very chaotic team fight.
Yeah, chaos and mayhem. I think that those two words are the most fitting ones to describe what is going on right here, right now. But RPG, for the first time in this series, I feel they were showing up with stronger team fighting than in game 1. And let's face it, they could have definitely lost that one a little harder there, I feel. So the Horrify was good, the Sanctification was okay, Divine Shield landed as well when it was needed to land. So maybe now they can finally find their rhythm. And let's face it as well, Timeless. He is becoming a walking one-man army on that skeleton King on Leoric as time goes by, with Royal Focus, with the Burning Despair at level 20. Such a late game powerhouse he can be. Muradin's Avatar actually completely whiffed.
I have much more comfort with Timeless on this Leoric and how he's been playing it compared to his Genji last game. His Genji gave me so many concerns as to him putting himself in danger and not doing enough damage for kills and burning abilities when he could have saved them for resets before fights even happened.
Right.
But in this game, he has been on point. He's harassing the right people. That march during the last fight was really good and completely ruined any chance of Sonya re-engaging. So yeah, much more comfortable with Timeless in this particular game.
Absolutely. Timeless, a player that you can always rely on when it comes to carrying team fights in the late game. Now, very aggressive move here. Oh, never mind. It's their own mercenary camp. So I thought that was actually beyond the game invading. I was like, that's a little risky, but
I mean, very little is more aggressive than invading neutral territory, and as such, the mercenary camps neutral until literally just this moment are taken by both teams.
I'm going to give Gothmog0 a minute of glory here because he was asking us about Timeless and why he was with RPG now instead of Timeflow. Unfortunately, Timeflow didn't make it through the Crucible. They were eliminated, and their spot is now being taken by KT, an old familiar face. And Timeless decided to, you know, I still want to stay invested into the HGC China, so I'm going to switch teams and I'm going to try my luck at RPG.
And RPG, very happy to have him, it seems, with their roster swaps. They seemed happy to bring him on board. Gust is used. I think they wanted to push everyone except LLK away. Unfortunately, LLK just in range, and as such, it's a disengage as opposed to an isolation.
All right, 16 to 16. Both teams now trying to face each other in equal footing. We see the Holy Ground being locked in for Turiel, so more zoning capabilities, which could be huge. See Benediction, Royal Focus, a lot of strong talents available now for RPG.
Customize is down, looking for the target to isolate. They've run past Chicken with the rotation, dodges the spear. Nice little wrap around there to drop a little bit of free damage as Muradin dives in, getting stuck in. Dragon Arrow is also good. Riptide gets denied by the Sanctification, and Tsar is turning it around. Horrify has already been used, not getting too much value either as C is pushed into the backline. March of the Black King getting a little bit of damage onto Dancing, trying to focus LLK, but the Ancestral is landed. Tsar continues to get harassed, but the team has rotated to help him, and down goes Leoric as the first kill here. But they're focusing Muradin. He's too tanky though.
3 tanky, 5 me. You can kill 619. The healing static is not good enough. Finally, the dwarf is dead, and the gust is good.
Nice gust indeed, completely isolated. Don't mount up there! He does live, but in the meantime, LLK sneaks the objective.
Yeah, they sneak in the objective, but at least they were able to get some kills in return. Muradin, though, what a guy. Tanking so much damage all the time. Looks like there is a pause request here by Chicken. We're going to take a breather, guys, because this series, man, is HGC China in a nutshell. If you're coming in here to expect, you know, the cleanest of macro plays, the most patient of approaches, only to wait for the right moment to strike, you go watch Europe, NA, Korea. They do that, right? We're all about brawling. We're all about team fighting and non-stop action.
And honestly, it's pretty great. We absolutely love it. But yeah, and we are back in. I was about to make a profound statement, but you can save it for later as Chicken goes down. BTG, despite, I would argue, losing that fight, are suddenly falling, starting to get a little bit of a lead, making the most of that Punisher that was snuck away by LLK.
Unlucky here for Chicken falling, and that would have been such an important hero to basically apply long distance poke onto that Punisher. Now the bait was okay, and they still don't have Drunkard, so technically speaking, it's a 4 versus 4 right now. Actually, it's a 3 versus 4. Muradin only on his way back right now. Timeless. He knows this is a good chance for him to zone out the enemies. They can probably save that keep. Yeah, they can definitely save that. Easy peasy. So, good defense, good hold for RPG, despite the fact that Chicken had to bite the dust.
And they are still in the game, though. RPG have basically consistently held a half a level deficit the entire game. And honestly, it's not so bad. The fact they've managed to keep it that much, and their keeps are still alive, are a good thing. They only really need one team fight to start to get themselves ahead, because they're close in XP, and they still have a lot of forts to go through, aka the bank of XP that has been left so kindly for them by BTG.
Burning Halo coming in here for C, by the way. That's the glowing red fiery aura near Eldrin and Turiel. Pretty okay talent. I'm personally not a big fan of it. I think it's oftentimes a little underrated, but it definitely gets the job done. Deals a little more damage. Uh-oh, Sa is the target they want to get rid of. Huge Divine Shield to keep him safe, though.
But LLK continues the chase. Sanctification for the turnaround. Riptire doesn't get much as Junkrat gets taken out. Gus to try and separate Muradin here. Sa continues to drain as Timeless is completely dominating the backline. Finally taken out. 619 just doesn't die though. He's finally getting Ancestraled up as it was needed. Down goes MJ, but now it goes to Uther healing. 619 finally taken out. Can Uther keep Sara alive? No, he can't. LLK with the burst damage.
3 for 2, and once again it was Muradin that proves to be the unsurmountable rock hero. Oh, huge corruption hitting from Sa!
Absolutely crazy move there as Chicken wraps around. He's trying to track the Hanzo here, who is pulling back, but he is already gone. Even Timeless could not slow him down with that spooky ghost form.
Absolutely fantastic. That is the power of a late game Gul'dan with Ruinous Affliction at level 16 and a fully stacked quest at level 1. I don't think they saw that damage coming, but look at that once again. 619 tanking through all that damage. Now he got a little bit overzealous. Now he got a little bit eager. He ended up falling there with the help of the combined efforts of RPG, LLK dropping low here as well, and now wait for that corruption tetcher.
On the way out as well, they run straight through it, eating so many hits. I don't even think Echo Corruption's fully stacked yet, but still able to land enough damage to turn that fight around. As level 20 is hit by both teams at about the same time. Oh my god.
Wow, this is as close as a game as we could have hoped for. We couldn't have asked for a better way to start or to finish day 3 of the first week of HGC China. Now, all heroes are back. All heroic abilities ready, with the exception of Ancestral, but that's only 5 seconds away. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we're in for one hell of a team fight to seal the deal, because I think this Punisher at level 20 could maybe even be a key for either team.
I think you are right. Level 20 talents, Death March coming in for Leoric, Redemption, the Hardened Shield for Tyrael, the Haunt for the Gul'dan, and the Wind Tunnel for Falstad. On the other side, Hardened Shield for Muradin, Storm Shield for Rhaegar. It's all about sustain, ignore pain for the Sonya, Bullseye for Hanzo, and Cannonballs for that crazy damage as they raid themselves in. Timeless applying that ominous rave. Here comes the Death March, applying the damage with the drain. Riptide only hits the Oric, who just tanks through that damage. But Timeless gets completely destroyed here. 619 has been holding down 4 members here. LLK does not land the spear. He is now the target, but he has ignored pain on making him so hard to kill. Sa and C being both harassed pretty hard here. Wind Tunnel has to be used for the disengage.
To be honest, I think the Wind Tunnel was used way too late. And maybe it could have been used earlier to save the Leoric, because if you lose one team member, you cannot power through that fight anymore, even if it's Leoric who comes back sooner than all the others. I think Horrify, Wind Tunnel, they were used a little too late here. Both Divine Shield and Sanctification available as well. So double failure, in my opinion, by RPG to keep Leoric alive. Timeless, of course, was maybe giving him or giving them the commands, I'm fine with Death March, but at some point, you just gotta take a stop here and maybe save an ally in need. But Muradin, 619, no tank shredding with the exception of Giant Killer at level 13 for the Falstad, but he is the unsurpassable mountain here for Beyond the Game.
Leoric has been trying to be a distraction for the enemy team backliners, but he maybe needs to put some attention onto the front line and deal with that Muradin. As the Punisher comes over, C is taking the damage. Timeless with a great ominous rave. So much damage from the corruption. It kills off Junkrat. Death March comes through. Only really gets value onto Hanzo as the Wind Tunnel is used, separating Rhaegar away, so they can try and focus someone down. But no, the Punisher is killing off the Uther, but he has redemption. Needs to keep Timeless alive, so they have the opportunity. Why is Sar outside the base? He's been chasing away Hanzo so effectively here. Hanzo will survive. 619 is dropping low. MJ comes back. Timeless is still alive. There's the Hawk. Focus onto the damage dealer as quickly as they can. They can take out through it. It could be over. They take out through it. Turning it round onto 619 to take him down as quick as they can. LLK is in full retreat. 619 is down. The keep is down. But the Punisher cannot end the core. They have to push something. They have to get structure value, Kendrick.
Can they do it again? Can RPG do again what they did yesterday? Beautiful escape here by Dancing question mark. Chicken takes a lot of damage, surprisingly enough, though. The heal is too strong, though. The damage on his Season Marksman as well. And once again, with their backs against the wall, they keep falling. The Punisher knocking on the cord. They defend, and they actually turn around. Unfortunately, though, all the forts are still standing, so no immediate counter keep value.
The deaths are so staggered. Maybe they can get a keep with this. This should be the objective right now. Get a keep for themselves an opening. Any possible chance to end the game later on. But 20 seconds left until Muradin. That is the biggest deal they could have. Here we see a quick replay of that. The damage from Gul'dan is insane and so quick, not allowing that Ancestral to land. Ancestral still 8 seconds away, as Rhaegar is forced away from anyone for that kind of protection. As such, LLK, despite getting the kill on Uther, is dropped so low, and Timeless doesn't take enough damage to be taken down. Hanzo's nowhere near, so the main damage of BTG is completely out of the question.
And you mentioned the staggered deaths. That's exactly what caused this keep to fall. The wind tunnel. Riptide, you're not catching anyone anytime soon. Completely denied. And down
That's
it goes.
clutch. I love that.
Fantastic.
Wow. Well, both teams now exactly even on structures.
Yeah.
Both teams with 2 keeps alive and 1 fort alive. Wow. This is going to be... This basically comes down to... I mean, the next Punisher is so ideal for RPG. It's top lane. They have a fort there. They have a buffer. However, all they need to do now is not wipe. Because if they wipe, it's over. The enemy team can just run mid and end the game. If they wipe the enemy team, they have to go through a lane before to it. Their lane is much longer. It's more efficient for them to try and take the objective anyway. They should deal with this potential backdoor attempt, though.
Yeah, you definitely bring up a good point. There's an advantage and a disadvantage for both teams right now, right? With the respective keeps they destroyed. The quicker way to end is for Beyond the Game. The better catapult pressure, though, is for RPG. So as you said, when they take it more slowly, when they play it more patiently, RPG is going to have a favor. But if they wipe Beyond the Game, or even if they lose like 1 or 2 members, Beyond the Game is definitely going to be able to shut the game and win it. So,
this is actually
go ahead.
This is actually why BTG are putting pressure onto this bot lane. They're removing catapult pressure so that they have some freedom for when the objective spawns. They were very unlikely to get a keep. They knew they would be reacted to, but they've managed to stop pressure in their own lanes, in the ones that the one that matters at this point, the bot lane, and they still have given themselves enough time to deal with this mercenary camp top as well.
Okay, good wave clear here by Dancing, using the explosive shots to get rid of all those mercenaries and minions. Now, let's take a look at the bottom lane. How much is it pushed? The minion wave's starting to clump up, so that could be nice. I think there's currently 1 catapult pushing alongside the melee and archer minions. In the meantime, Falstad clearing the mid lane. That's, of course, much easier to do for him. He has the global capabilities as well to arrive in the nick of time. But this Shrine, ladies and gentlemen, I think is going to decide the outcome of the game no matter what. 619 going in with a Muradin, taking quite a lot of damage this time around, though.
Very likely. Timeless is kind of surrounded, but he's ominous rafing. Not enough focus being put onto him. Everyone is scared because of what happened last time. Tyrael applying the shield, keeping everyone nice and healthy. Every heroic is off cooldown, except for currently Wrath of the Berserker that is already active. As Sonya does a lot of damage to Timeless here. Good move here. Look at how split BTG are trying to avoid that death march.
Yeah, Chicken actually getting bullied this time around by Dancing on the Hanzo. They're going to have to evacuate, but they have a Fountain Tetcher. They have a healing fountain. That was huge for Chicken. He didn't have to go back all the way.
Ominous Rifle applied. The Horrify doesn't actually get that much value here. The Wind Tunnel does, though, as they focus onto 619, but he's getting so much healing. Here comes the Riptide. Once applied, and he does double hit here. Very good value as the Yorick continues to apply the Ominous Rave. Death March has been used. He's managed to drop the tanks a little bit lower, but 619 is just so tanky, Kendrick, as LLK is surviving. There's the Storm Shield, but Sanctification, the perfect time for them to disengage with that Storm Shield. They have to run as the Corruption has spread so much damage. LLK is dropping low. Timeless in perfect position for the kill. He doesn't land it. The swipe misses. He's looking for live, but he puts himself away. And Timeless will be the first to fall in this fight.
Divine Shield's not being used. They want to save it for a different target. Uther is still available here. Timeless will come back a little sooner. Chicken is the most important member now alongside Gul'dan. As long as they keep their assassins alive, they can maybe bounce back. They can maybe come back here. But Uther, not sure if his redemption is up. Maybe he can sacrifice in the last effort here. Good cleanse, though. This is not over just yet. 33 to 39. Is RPG willing to defend? I think they should defend. They have time. Look at the catapults, yeah.
Both cores are taking catapult pressure. RPG, this is a better situation for them because they are forced to retreat. Both cores going down. Falstad making the executive decision to defend as opposed to attack. And BTG are forced to retreat. 31, 27, cannonball value. 9% on the core.
Whoa, this is so crazy. 9%, that's nothing. That's nothing. If they go in with a Falstad maybe and some other hero, they can take it down now at any given time. The Punisher completely whipped. Only LLK here to support any more damage. Needs to be careful though. Cannot get caught here by a Horrify. A one-man Horrify could actually be the end though. Beyond the game. They're trying to maybe end the game, realizing that a 9% core cannot be defended. They're trying to use the confusion that the Punisher is using and maybe to walk into the base.
Falstad must survive, no matter what. He does not have fly available, but as long as he is alive, BTG are always going to be on their toes. If Falstad flies to the base, which he is, look, he's wrapping around, he's thinking about it. He's either going to fly to his allies or to the enemy base. Sar does not get storm bolted, that's a huge deal. And it's just going to be
such a big moment
versus the entire team of BTG. 9% versus 56.
Falstad is going for it!
I was used. Chicken flying into the base. Where is the port protecting here? They're not doing it in time. Chicken can't end the game now. 2 members are ported.
He can teleport back still. No, he gets caught by the root and the concussion mine. That is huge. Falstad, without dealing a single point of damage on the core, gets caught by Junkrat. The teleportations, the Hearthstones were not kept back in the 4 versus 3, but they can kill the Burden. He is too tanky. The Ancestral is good. MJ is probably going to fall as well.
They're going to lose 3 versus 4 as Sonya continues to whirlwind the corruption damage. Never mind, but it's still a 5 versus 4 now. Another catapult has arrived in the bot lane, but I don't think it's going to be enough on its own. They're going to have to brace. Actually, it's going to be pretty close. There's 2 catapults on the core. All RPGs do is to tank it. Can the catapults do it? Break through the shield. The shield, it starts to explode on RPG's core as well. Minions spawn. 3 catapults on the core. That is it. No one for BTG to save the game. And that is GG. And the decision, BTG, they played so well to defend it, but 9% just too low, and they committed too hard for the end game there.
It was all the grand scheme of things, the master plan behind Chicken dying. No, of course it wasn't. That was quite foolish. But, of course, I think it's safe to say that the red team, beyond the game, they got too overzealous. They realized, you know what, we killed Chicken. We can take the core now, right? Oh, no, 2 catapults are already on the way, but we left our base. We couldn't teleport back in time. It was a very messy, a very chaotic ending to that game, but the Winians finished what Chicken on the Falstad could not, and as a result, I don't know how RPG does it, but game 2, in the most craziest of ways, they take those games.
What even is RPG at this point, other than one of our favorite freaking teams to cast and watch? Because, oh my god, 1-1 versus Sunny Lion in weird fashion. 1-1 versus BTG in weird fashion. On Monday, they've got the one. I think it's going to be weird, Kendrick.
Oh boy, yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, RPG was able to hold their core at 10% and then retaliated, came all the way back and finished the game in style. This time, while I do not want to call it finishing its style, they definitely did win in glorious fashion though. The Winians, the Catapults finally getting all the fame they deserve. And they definitely deserve to get a promotion after that game. Bring back that talent from the depths of the Blizzard dungeons. Wonderfully done. I mean, this is just such a cool way to end the last day of the first week for HGC China. If you haven't done so already, guys, tell everyone about the mayhem that is this glorious region. And make sure to follow us there for the 4 weeks to come. It's going to be absolutely glorious.
Could not agree more. It's going to be fantastic. You should hit follow on this stream.